Have you ever stopped to think about the things you say and how they shape your mindset and life? In this video, we'll explore 9 things a wise, stoic-minded individual would never say. If you can avoid these phrases, your life will transform for the better. Ready to grow and learn? Stick with me until the end. 1. It's not fair. This is a phrase we hear all the time. However, a wise, stoic person avoids saying it. Why? Life isn't always fair, and complaining about its injustices achieves nothing. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of things." When you say, "It's not fair," you adopt a victim mentality. Instead of accepting reality, you focus on how you think things should be. This mindset causes frustration and blinds you to opportunities that may arise from difficulties. Take someone at work who constantly complains about not getting the recognition they deserve. By saying, "It's not fair," they surrender control to others instead of seeking ways to improve or influence their situation. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept with grace what we cannot. Instead of saying, "It's not fair," a Stoic would ask, "What can I do about this?" Adopting this proactive mindset builds resilience and inner strength, helping us navigate challenges with dignity. 2. I don't have time. This is another phrase a wise person avoids. Saying, "I don't have time," is often an excuse to avoid taking responsibility for our choices. As Seneca said, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Everyone has the same 24 hours. The difference lies in how we use them. When we say, "I don't have time," we're really saying we aren't prioritizing certain tasks. For example, someone who claims they don't have time to exercise but spends hours watching TV has a priority problem, not a time problem. To align your actions with your values, try keeping a time journal for a week. Track how you spend your time. You'll likely uncover areas where you can cut back on meaningless activities and redirect that energy toward what truly matters. Stoicism also reminds us to live in the present. Often, "I don't have time" reflects a future-focused mindset that prevents us from appreciating the moment. By practicing mindfulness and focusing on what matters most, we find both peace and productivity. 3. It's impossible. This phrase limits us before we even try. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If something is within your power to achieve, why not take action? If it's beyond your power, endure it with dignity." Every great achievement in history, flying, space exploration, curing diseases, was once deemed impossible until someone challenged that belief. When you say, "It's impossible," you shut the door to growth and creativity. Instead of declaring something impossible, ask yourself, "What can I do differently? Who can help me?" This shift opens the door to problem-solving and new opportunities. For instance, if learning a new skill feels overwhelming, break it down into manageable steps. Small, consistent efforts, like learning 10 new words daily when studying a language, make what once felt impossible achievable over time. 4. It's not my fault. Blaming others for our circumstances is another habit a Stoic person avoids. As Epictetus said, "People are disturbed not by events but by their interpretation of them." Instead of shifting blame, a wise individual takes responsibility for what they can control. Saying, "It's not my fault," creates a passive mindset. Take someone who's consistently late to meetings and blames traffic. Instead of owning their actions, they perpetuate a cycle of excuses. A wiser approach would be to adjust their schedule, leave earlier, or find alternative routes. Taking responsibility doesn't mean unjustly blaming ourselves. Instead, it empowers us to learn from mistakes and improve. Each failure is an opportunity for growth if we choose to reflect and adapt. 5. I'll never change. This phrase reflects a fixed mindset, which contradicts Stoic principles of growth and self-improvement. As Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Saying, "I'll never change," is resigning to stagnation. It's a self-imposed barrier to growth. Imagine someone who thinks they're too old to learn a new skill. This mindset limits their potential and keeps them stuck. Instead, a wise person embraces the inevitability of change and approaches it with humility. For example, someone who wants to improve their health but struggles with bad habits might start with small, sustainable changes, celebrating progress, no matter how small. Stoicism reminds us to strive for progress, not perfection. Accepting that change is a natural part of life allows us to grow stronger and wiser each day. 6. I'm always right. The sixth thing an intelligent person never says is, "I'm always right." This phrase not only comes across as arrogant but also closes off opportunities to learn from others. Marcus Aurelius teaches, "Welcome everything that happens, even if it seems unpleasant, because what could be more suitable for your progress and inner success than the events of life?" Humility and openness are essential for growth. Saying, "I'm always right," puts you in a defensive position, limiting your understanding and preventing you from seeing the bigger picture. Imagine someone in a discussion who refuses to listen to other opinions because they're convinced they have all the answers. This not only creates conflict but also restricts learning. Stoicism advocates for humility and the recognition that we don't know everything. Admitting when we're wrong allows us to build stronger relationships and expand our knowledge. For example, in a work setting, a colleague might suggest a new approach to a project. Instead of dismissing it, consider how this perspective might improve the outcome. This attitude not only enhances the project but also fosters mutual respect and collaboration. Recognizing that you're not always right reduces the stress of maintaining a facade of perfection. The next time you're tempted to say, "I'm always right," remind yourself of Aurelius's teachings. Ask, "What can I learn from this situation?" Flexibility and receptivity will make you wiser, stronger, and more compassionate. 7. I don't care. The seventh thing an intelligent person never says is, "I don't care." This phrase reflects a lack of concern that goes against Stoic principles of living with purpose and compassion. Seneca advises, "Do not resent the role nature has assigned you. Perform it with dedication and humility." Saying, "I don't care," disconnects us from others and from our own sense of purpose. For instance, imagine someone responding indifferently when a friend asks for help. This attitude not only damages the relationship but also robs the person of the opportunity to grow through acts of kindness. Stoicism reminds us that we are interconnected, and our actions impact the world around us. Caring for others strengthens our connection to humanity and adds meaning to our lives. For example, in the workplace, if a colleague is struggling with a task and asks for help, saying, "I don't care," would not only be unkind but also a missed chance to strengthen the team and foster a positive work environment. The Stoic ideal of virtue reminds us that our actions define our character. The next time you feel like saying, "I don't care," reflect on Seneca's wisdom and ask yourself, "How can I act in a way that reflects my values?" You'll find that caring for others not only makes you stronger but also enriches your life with greater satisfaction and purpose. 8. I will never be happy. The eighth thing an intelligent person never says is, "I will never be happy." This phrase reflects a hopeless mindset that contradicts Stoic teachings, which emphasize that happiness is shaped by our perceptions and attitudes, not external circumstances. Epictetus said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and others are not." Saying, "I will never be happy," places you in a position of powerlessness. For example, someone recovering from a painful breakup might believe they'll never experience joy again. This belief fosters negativity and self-pity, preventing them from moving forward. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our emotions, thoughts, and actions. By shifting our perspective and attitude, we can find happiness even in challenging times. Practicing gratitude is a powerful tool for this. Writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day helps shift your focus from negativity to positivity and highlights the small joys in life. Living in the present and embracing mindfulness can also help you find contentment. Stoics remind us of the impermanence of all things. Difficult moments will pass, just as joyful ones do. The next time you feel like saying, "I will never be happy," reflect on Epictetus's wisdom. Ask, "What can I do today to bring a little joy and gratitude into my life?" You'll realize that happiness is not a destination but a series of moments you can cultivate each day. 9. I don't need anyone. The ninth thing an intelligent person never says is, "I don't need anyone." This phrase reflects extreme self-sufficiency, which can lead to loneliness and isolation. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Man is by nature a social being. To cut oneself off from others is to be a stranger to society." Saying, "I don't need anyone," shuts the door to vulnerability and meaningful relationships. For example, Someone who's been hurt in the past might avoid trusting others, believing they don't need anyone's help. This mentality may feel protective but ultimately deprives them of love, support, and opportunities for growth. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of community and mutual support. Healthy relationships provide comfort, perspective, and learning experiences. For example, when facing a tough challenge at work, instead of saying, "I don't need anyone," seek advice and support from trusted colleagues or friends. Collaboration often leads to better solutions and strengthens bonds. Recognizing our interconnectedness helps us act with empathy and compassion. The next time you feel tempted to say, "I don't need anyone," recall Aurelius's words and embrace interdependence. Ask yourself, how can I build and strengthen my relationships? How can I offer and receive support in a healthy way? By doing so, you'll discover that human connections enrich your life and make you more resilient. 10. I don't have time. A wise person never says, "I don't have time." This common excuse shows a lack of control over priorities. Seneca reminds us that life is not short, but we make it short by wasting it. When we say we have no time, we often mean that we're letting distractions or less important tasks take over. The Stoics teach that time is a valuable resource. Epictetus said, "We do not have little time, but we waste a lot of it." Instead of saying, "I don't have time," we should ask ourselves, how am I spending my time? What truly matters? By organizing our priorities, we can make space for what adds real value to our lives. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more Stoic wisdom. Remember, small changes in the way we think and speak can lead to big transformations in our lives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.